Ohio gozaimasu, Asami here, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to show you about my database and how to use it. So, a little history about my database. It was first drafted back on July 2018. It began as using for Primo members only for tier 5 and up, but later in the month, I decided to do for all tiers. It was still under Primo's hand until I officially released it to the public on September 2018. The idea was to educate the Primo Armada of all elite ships to understand what are we dealing with based on stats and not skills. Now, it is a tool to educate and utilize all information on elite ships, comparing and modifying to your choice. So, how can we be able to use my database? First, you will need a Google account and have Google Sheets. If you don't have Google Sheets, you will encounter the website version of the database like this. Alright, if you have Google Sheets, it should almost look like this. The only difference between mine and yours is the view only screen. In that version, you are unable to edit my database, so you'll be asking, Hiromi, how can I edit your database when I can't do anything? Well, I'll show you the way. Go to File, select Make a Copy, and rename it whatever you like. For example, I'm going to rename mine to Poi because I got nothing to think about but Poi. And while that, click OK, and please be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell for more World of Warships Blitz content. Okay, now you got a copy of my database. This is where you can edit and make changes as much as you like, but be in mind that this database contains multiple formulas and coding. I will help guide you where you can touch and where you should not touch. Right here, you should see the Welcomes tab. This is where you can pause as much as you like, and we're going to move on to the key points. So the key points are down here in these two areas. So the ships that are color coded in orange are ships that are stuck or outdated due to patch changes. That means that these ships is inaccurate in certain areas and needs updating. Now if the ships are containing in red, that means that these ships are a team from NetEase Corporation, which are the Chinese version of World of Warships Blitz. These information may not be accurate and may not be available worldwide. Be in mind that the ship is there, but we do not know when Wargame decides to put these ships internationally. Alright, let's move on to the Ships Compare tab. We're going to skip the tutorial in the changelog server link completely, but we're going to discuss the ship modifications later. Alright, in the Ships Compare tab, you'll see two important sections, the Search Ship column and the Alpha/DPM chart. Let's give an example. Alright, we're going to do a tier 10 match between the USS Montana and the Imperial Japanese Navy Yamato. So what you're going to do in order is select both tiers to tier 10. As for ship type, select BB. BB stands for Battleship for your information. As for ship name, your main ship will be the Montana and you're going against the Yamato. As you can see, information are starting to pop up. As you can see here, there are two different colorizations, red and green. Red means that your ship has less amount than the enemy ship by a certain category. For example, the Montana's HP is less than the Yamato's by 5%. As for green, green means that your ship has greater amount than the enemy ship by a certain category. As for example, fire and flood protection, you see that the Montana has 60% better protection than the Yamato. Let's move on to the Alpha/DPM chart. As you can see here, you'll see the maximum damage output to the enemy ship and vice versa. As you can probably see here, your alpha damage does not equal to the alpha damage below. The reason is that I've taken damage reduction into consideration, where I take the alpha damage below and subtracted the damage reduction, which your model has 15%. The top section is where the actual damage output you can make to the enemy ship. This also applies to torpedo damage reduction as well. Now, Let's say you want to move on from the alpha damage to damage per minute, or DPM in short. What you are going to do is select the drop down tab of any of these sections and select DPM. Now you can see that the maximum damage output is increased from going from alpha damage to DPM. Now, how do you remove these ships from the search column? You can do it in two ways. First is to research it by selecting the tier and continue your way down. Let's say we're going to go move on from the Yamato to Zhao. So what you're going to do is keep the tier 10 and we're going to move down to ship type and select cruiser armored. Now under ship name, let's search Zhao. And as you can see, the information pops up. The other way you could do this is hit backspace under the ship name and the information will disappear like so. Alright, let's move on to 7v7 ships compare. This is a perfect tool for skirmish and clan war battles where you can see your main team versus the enemy team ships. Again, this is based on stats and not skills. What to do is almost similar to ships compare tab, but there is a slight difference. As you scroll to the middle, you will see the tier matches section. Select which tier is the battle going to be between you and the enemy ships and continue on way downward. Next, under ship type is the ship nation tab. Select which nation of that ship and then continue on way downward to the ship name tab and select the ship name of your choice. Alright, let's make a rundown, shall we? All ships list, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and carriers contains all the ships from tier 1 to tier 10. Destroyers to the carriers tab contains the type of those ships. In premium versus non-premium ships is where you can easily compare between two ships from non-premium versions of the ship to the premium versions of that ship. Other information is where you can see other information in World of Warships Blitz. Ship specialty is where you can see the ship skills, bonuses, and historic camo of the ships. Alright, let's move on to the most important tab, the ship modifications. Here is where you can see all the information that you are allowed to modify to your ship. So let's go back to ships compare and let's modify Zhao. So we're going to modify Zhao just by adding the historic camo, for example. So we're going to go back to ship modifications, go down to camouflage and select historical cruiser. Now let's go back to the ships compare. As you can see, if you scroll your way downward, you'll see that information has changed. As you can see right here, the max traverse speed for Montana is 4.6, while the Zhao's traverse speed has increased from 5.8 to 6.0. Now you want to add more information, you can just select whatever information you'd like to add to modify either your ship or the enemy ship. And as you come back, now you can see information has differed. I hope I explained everything about how to use my database. If you got more questions, please comment down below or go to my Discord server in the description below and I'll answer as fast as I can. Other than that, thank you for watching and I'll be looking forward to see you at Seas next time. Jane!